Hello, I'm Cara, and I wanted to just today take a little tour of some of my embroidered ornaments. Because I have a whole bunch of them, and they're very hard to capture. I think about to do kind of an overhaul. Well, see if I can find a better place and system to take a bunch of pictures because they're hard to capture thoroughly in just one. So I have a bunch of these witches hats with different colors. They all have some beads around generally around the crown and on near the brim. Beep boop beep bop boop. So I did a few different. I found some nice quality wool at a thrift store. Wool felt at a thrift store a year and a half or so ago. This is one of the colors that I got. So I did a bunch of So that started me experimenting, and then I bought some more. I've bought felt from, I think, Joann's once or twice, and from Benzie felt. Ooh. And I've been really enjoying playing around with different colors of beads. Oh yeah, that one's hard. So you can see. Oh, do you have a fur on you? I keep all my ornaments in Ziploc bags, and they're in a cardboard box, organized by category and sealed and in a box. So I do my best to keep the cat hair off them, but it's never perfect. You can kind of see these are, I think, blackberry colored, or the name of these beads is blackberry, so they look really dark, but they have kind of purple and blue shine. I love those. Yeah. And then obviously for the last, close to a year and a half, I have been a little fixated on gnomes. So last year I did some Pride Wizard gnomes. They're many colored hats and they're magic staffs. Bop boop beep boop. I did some just other Pride gnomes. So we've got some multicolored hats and then things like this for like the bi flag this little gnome is representing. Then after the gnomes, I got let's see, let's find a house first. I started thinking about fairy gardens and gnomes out in the wild. I love those little, like fairy doors and things that people put out in forests. So I started making these little fairy houses in mushrooms. Most of them have ladders up to a garden on the top, and a window. This guy. These are kind of based on bolete mushrooms. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce that. I did, because there are a bunch of varieties and colors of bolete, B-O-L-E-T-E, in North America and Europe for sure. And those are kind of, I live in the middle of North America, and I've been trying to learn more, at least a bit more, about German. If I go elsewhere for inspiration right now, it's Germany, in terms of, or Germany and Northern Europe generally, because, a lot of U.S. culture takes from, we descended from Britain, and my genetic ancestors are largely from Germany, and we have a lot influences from other Europe, and Iowa has a lot of Scandinavians of different varieties. And I want to, especially because I make art to sell, I want to learn about arts, you know, different forms of art and fiber art and all sorts of things in just history from other parts of the world. But I spend some time with that, and try to learn a bit. I'm very nervous about appropriating things. Probably being nervous is the wrong, not a great approach, right? I don't think it's inaccurate, to a way to describe myself, but it's not a great way to be because, yeah, there's just so much cool art from all over the place. I have some books I'm going to talk about soon, but white women, we've been part of colonizing. We're part of a colonizing culture, so we are close to, even if there's always misogyny, but regardless of that, things like anything human isn't perfectly evenly applied, right? So some women, we have relatively more power for whatever reason, and I really like collecting books. I'm going to be talking about that in another video soon, but white women say some really cringy things about other cultures. Anywho, back to my fairy fairy garden. So I showed you some houses, and these are garden mushrooms. So they have vines growing over the top with berries coming down, and then a ladder leading up to a couple platforms. Yeah. And I've had a lot of fun playing with colors and beads. A thing that I struggle with is, this is an early house, so no garden. There's the garden. Focus. Like I'm staring very intently at the ornament, trying to see when it's in focus. But yeah, the thing that I've been struggling with is I love to play with different things, and I'm developing more skills with embroidery. I've been doing cross stitch pretty consistently and making money with it for close to a decade, and stitching longer than that. So I've built up that dexterity, and I'm getting a lot better at mastering a lot of different kinds of stitches, and I feel much more confident now that if I can design something, I can stitch it and make it look the way I want to, which starting out, even with anything, even with cross stitch, which is relatively straightforward, things just don't necessarily look the way you want them to, because you haven't figured out how to keep the tension the same, whatever. Anyway, so the point is that I'm excited to be playing with more techniques. I made these little like Christmas tree. They are all hat and beard gnomes. So yeah, playing with more techniques and things, but using, going in depth with a lot of different techniques uses more time and energy, and and people can't necessarily afford to buy more and more expensive things. So I've been trying to, find fun ways to make small things meaningful. These little ornaments have been very fun. But yeah, I need to take more pictures of them so it's more clear how many I have. I have a bunch. These are, hundreds probably at this point. I don't know if I actually want to count. It's a little scary. A bag of turtles. Let's see, the other thing. So I posted some of these on social media last year. Okay, I'm going to set this microphone down and hope the sound isn't too bad. But I made these little spinny embroidery thingies. Based originally on my memory of the movie Sleepy Hollow, where Christina Ricci, whose character name I don't remember, but has something like this made out of paper and ribbon, that has a cardinal on one side and a cage on the other. When she spins it, the cardinal is in the cage. So I have been, this is a really fun thing that's just true of human, like a way we can trick our human eyes, because I don't remember what the actual rate is, but there's a certain frame rate that our brains can take in information from our eyes. And if something is less than that, it looks weird one way or another. Anyway, but if you do something like this and have these two images right in the same space, but spinning just a bit faster than our eyes can register, our brains fill it in and make it look show it to us as one image. And I just think that's very cool. I have this pile of these that I've been wanting to send out as patron rewards, and I keep having just financial stuff, so I don't quite get to having enough to mail out a bunch of things, because it's like the cheapest you can put a package in the USPS is about $5, and that's like a good deal when you, like, through Etsy and things, Etsy and my like business PayPal account, I get some discount, and that brings it down to about $5. And of course, all the private companies, the minimum, even to it, like I worked at, again from when I worked at Yarn Tree, but even to like post a letter or something through a private company, the minimum I guess that was 2019, I think, is about $8. So even a letter, and we have stamps that are 50, 60 cents, and that's been going up slowly, but so I guess USPS is a treasure, but still I haven't gotten these guys in the mail. I have just a couple of these gnome ones. Look at him having a party. Rave boy. Okay. So I'm playing with bead textures. There are so many colors of embroidery floss. It's fun to match to beads and then contrast with beads. I just listed a bunch of wreaths too. I really like how these look on a tree. I just have a little fake tree that I put up, like November-ish to January-ish. But I really like these wreaths of dark colors on a light background, because with Christmas lights on a tree, they show up. They show up really nice as long as they're behind some light. And I think they look very cool. All these different guys. Okay. Oh, and the recent favorites. I've been doing more wildlife. I think these might be my first mammals. And I made some possums, which are fun. They're very cute. I'm gonna do some more, I think, on the piece of felt I'm embroidering now, because they are such great little animals. Let's see, these are Holzfräulein, or wood women, which I found in my book about German Hausgeister, or house spirits. So I made these little like bark faces with branch leaves. Let's see. Yeah, here's a little oak guy or lady. Bop boop. Yeah. So, I don't know. I just wanted to, have a chat about some of my ornaments. I have some others. Ooh, I started putting some on backing. There's a local shop that expressed some interest in, or was interested in my ornaments, so I started putting them on these things to maybe hang up in a shop, and then they had budget stuff, so I'm gonna be checking in for the next holiday season. And there's mushrooms. These are all Iowa, or at least Midwest native. Some mulberries. This is just French knot. No beads, but beep bop boop bop boop. Waxy red caps. Oh, and then just a tree of life. The beads. Yeah, and there's that bolete mushrooms. I love these guys. Yeah. Okay. Sugar maple leaves are so dramatic. They change in the fall. I'm trying to do some potted plants, some house plants too, since I have so many to draw inspiration from. Yeah, a bunch of sugar maples. Buttercup. Ooh, slime mold. Yellow slime mold. Which are such weird, like, all life on Earth is so weird. Slime molds are so weird and so good. But anywho, here's a little just introduction to some of my embroidery and ornaments. I'm going to be making another, I'll be back soon with some other things. Thanks.